Folktales of Hawaii, He Mau Ka'au Hawaii, collected and translated by Mary Kavena Pukui, with Laura C.S. Green.
The Eel and the Sea Cucumber. Puhi and Loli were kupua who traveled from a foreign land to live in Kona. During the day, one was an eel and the other a sea cucumber. But at night, both became handsome men. One moonlight night, two girls went to the beach to bathe in the sea and to catch fish. While they were thus engaged, they were seen by Puhi and Loli. The two drew near the place where the girls were sitting. The girls were startled to see the two handsome men beside them. Seeing the beauty of the sisters, the men addressed them in soft, persuasive words. The girls quickly responded. When they went home, they said nothing about the two strangers because their father had vowed that they should not have foreigners, who might turn out to be kupua, for husbands. Some months later, the father became suspicious of his daughter's loss of appetite and their eagerness to go to the beach as soon as the sun went down, although they brought nothing home with them. So one night he followed them without their knowledge. He saw them go to the entrance of a little cave where they sat down, and in order to see what they did, he crept after them and hid behind a small heap of stones beside a tide pool. He had not waited long when an eel and a sea cucumber came up and out of the pool and turned into men. They did not see him. He watched closely all that went on between them and his daughters. Then he saw them go back to the pool and change, one into an eel and the other into a sea cucumber, and disappear into the sea. He hastened home and entered the house before the sisters returned. To their surprise, they were not scolded as usual for returning from the beach without any catch. One night, after the girls had gone down to the beach, he followed quietly to the shore, and when he saw the two men engaged in making love to his two daughters, he laid his net at the place where he had seen them turn into men. When Puhi and Loli returned to the pool, they were caught fast in the net. He drew them ashore and pounded them to death with stones. That night he carried them home and baked them. In the morning, when the sisters arose, the father said, "Did you catch any fish last night?" "No fish, it was too rough," answered the girls. "Yes, that is true. I went fishing myself last night and caught only an eel and a sea cucumber. I've cooked them, so come and eat." "Are you not going to eat with us?" "No, I've already eaten." They sat down and ate heartily. Then their father said, "Look here! You have eaten the fish forms of your two husbands." The girls ran outside, and while the father stood by with a big club, they threw up. One a tiny sea cucumber, the other a tiny eel, which tried to get back to the beach. The father killed them both with the club and threw them into the fire and burned them to ashes. The ashes he buried in a waterless land so that they could never come to life. As for the girls, they stayed at home until they found husbands of whom their father approved.